Now at 10, the search for answers after a deadly New Year's Day terror attack on Bourbon Street.
Our hearts are with the people of New Orleans after a despicable attack that occurred in the early morning hours.
The suspect, a Texas-born military veteran and former real estate agent from Houston who may have been radicalized.
An ISIS flag was located on the trailer hitch of the vehicle, and the FBI is working to determine the subject's potential associations and affiliations with terrorist organizations.
The attack forcing the delay of the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans to tomorrow, now with more security than ever.
That facility in this city is safer today than it was yesterday.
This as we begin to learn the names of some of the victims.
KHOU 11 News at 10 starts right now. And now at 10, a massive investigation continues, stretching from New Orleans to Houston after that deadly ISIS-inspired attack while people were celebrating the start of the new year.
A U.S. Army veteran from Houston killed at least 14 people and injured dozens more when he drove onto a packed Bourbon Street. He later died in a shootout with police. Here is a live look at Bourbon Street in New Orleans, courtesy of EarthCam. This location would normally be loaded with tourists, but instead, now just a few members of law enforcement that you see there as the area remains blocked off due to the ongoing investigation.
Officials say the attacker drove around law enforcement to get onto Bourbon Street, less than a mile away from the Superdome, where the Sugar Bowl was supposed to take place tonight. The college football playoff game has since been pushed to tomorrow afternoon. The attacker has been identified as 42-year-old Shamsud-Din Jabbar, a U.S. Army veteran from Houston. He was killed during a shootout with police where he injured at least 2 officers. The FBI says Jabbar was carrying an ISIS flag, a long gun with a suppressor, a handgun, and at least 2 improvised explosive devices. Officials believe he did not act alone.
And we have team coverage for you tonight, and we begin with our Matt Doherty, who joins us live from New Orleans. Matt, what are you seeing out there?
Well, the mayor has asked people to avoid the French Quarter tonight, as much of it is still an active crime scene. The city is on edge. A somber tone fills the streets of the French Quarter tonight. A place that would normally be filled with crowds on New Year's Day, Jackson Square is essentially deserted. The mood is dim.
We're right here. This is happening right here where we are. I mean, we were 10 blocks from it.
Mary and her husband came from Iowa to celebrate New Year's Eve in the Crescent City. It's still hard for them to believe what happened.
I just never think that's going to happen to you.
At about 3:15 this morning, authorities say 42-year-old Shamsud-Din Jabbar made it around the police blockade on Bourbon Street. He raced down the street, driving into the crowd. 14 people were killed and dozens more were injured before he was killed in a shootout with police. Today, officials were questioned as to why the metal barriers installed back in 2017 to block through traffic along Bourbon Street were removed.
Because the city of New Orleans is hosting Super Bowl this year, it gave the city of New Orleans an opportunity to go further and deeper with infrastructure improvements. Bollards were not up because they are near completion, with the expectation of being completed, of course, by Super Bowl, way before Super Bowl.
Several streets northeast of the French Quarter, a fire broke out at a home in the St. Roch area where authorities say the suspect had rented an Airbnb. Tonight, they say they found explosives and bomb-making material inside the home. The city remains on edge tonight, where each firework pop is given a second thought. A place that's been tested by tragedy so many times in the past is being tried once again. The sources say authorities are now going through security video to determine whether or not there were any accomplices involved. Back to you.
Matt, have you learned anything about the status of those 2 officers who were shot?
Actually, a council member spoke about that earlier today. He says that he spoke with both of those officers and they appear to be in high spirits and they are both expected to be okay.
That is some good news we are hearing this evening. Matt, thank you so much. And new tonight, we are learning the names of some of those victims of the attack. They include 18-year-old Nikraya Cheyenne Dado, 21-year-old Hubert Gothrow, 25-year-old Matthew Tenedorio, 28-year-old Nicole Perez, 27-year-old Tiger Betch, 37-year-old Reggie Hunter, and Kareem Bawadi.
And tonight we know the suspect was living in Harris County. Several law enforcement agencies, including the Harris County Sheriff's Office and the FBI, have blocked off the area believed to be his home. The home is along Hugh Road, just off TC Jester Boulevard. Amanda Henderson has been in that area all day long, and she just got an update from the local FBI agents. Amanda, what are those agents sharing with you?
Well, tonight, the biggest thing is that this is going to be an ongoing investigation for quite some time. This area has been blocked off for hours, and no doubt that will continue into the morning, but significant updates when it comes to the home that they're looking at. Tonight, the Harris County Sheriff's Office and FBI Houston say that they are continuing a court-authorized search at the location. They also made something else crystal clear. No one in this area, including anyone who could have been in that home, is under arrest at this time. A sea of first responders have zeroed in on a North Harris County home believed to be connected to the Bourbon Street attacker, Shamsud-Din Jabbar. Neighbors off of Hugh Road left stunned.
Like normal person, like simple person.
The responding agencies include the Harris County Sheriff's Office and Houston FBI. They have blocked off entry into the neighborhood while trying to get any clues on why Jabbar drove through a packed Bourbon Street in New Orleans early Monday morning.
Well, I just heard about this and I'm scared.
In the hours after the attack, we learned the truck was rented through an app. The pickup truck owner, who lives in the Pasadena area, confirming it was rented out to someone through the Turo app, but would not comment further. And just earlier this evening, Turo did send us a statement saying that they are heartbroken by the violence and are cooperating with law enforcement authorities, noting that the suspect did not have a criminal background when renting the vehicle, and there were no security threats as a result. In North Harris County, I'm Amanda Henderson, KHOU 11 News.
Amanda, thank you. So who exactly was Shamsud-Din Jabbar, the man authorities have identified as the suspect? Our Stephen Goen joins us now from Houston after digging into the suspect's background all day. So Stephen, what are you learning?
In a video from 2020, in his own words, Shamsud-Din Jabbar identified himself as a native Texan and a military veteran.
I'm born and raised in Beaumont, Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life, with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years.
Tonight, these old yearbook photos appear to show Jabbar a few years before he enlisted when he was a student. He graduated from Beaumont's Central High School in 2001. That's according to a spokesperson for the district.
Just from knowing him personally as an adolescent to 18, I'm just shocked.
A former classmate, Micah Roach, says when he knew Jabbar, he was smart, friendly, and talked with everyone.
He was well respected, carried himself well, and you just wouldn't think that he would do something like this.
After high school, records show that Jabbar enlisted in the Army in 2007, working in both human resources and information technology. He was deployed to Afghanistan from 2009 to 2010, then transferred into the U.S. Army Reserve in 2015. He served until 2020, leaving the military with the rank of Staff Sergeant. He later went on to a career in real estate, but his license expired in 2021. Jabbar is also twice married and divorced, according to court records. Those records show that Jabbar was nearly $30,000 behind on house payments in 2022, around the time of that second divorce. Those same records show that his businesses were also struggling. Now, our partners at CNN are reporting that law enforcement is currently reviewing videos allegedly made by Jabbar, videos where he is heard saying he joined ISIS. That's according to multiple officials. They believe he made those videos while driving from Texas to Louisiana. We're live in Houston tonight. Stephen Goen, KHOU 11 News.
Stephen, thank you. Now, if you happen to know anything more about the suspect or what happened, you're asked to contact the FBI tip line. You can do that by going to the website on your screen or by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI.